What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about, and you guys know it, classic bodybuilding. And today is another Q&A. Some people have requested it and a lot of questions have been answered. I picked out some of the most popular questions and some questions that I liked, and I'm going to try to pace this Q&A a little faster so I can answer more questions. So let's go. First question by Shazet Aziz. He asks, if someone took caffeine and creatine, would the caffeine reduce the effects of the creatine? And that has actually been proven in a couple of scientific studies that caffeine does reduce the effectiveness of creatine. So when you take both of them together, like if you take a cup of coffee pre-workout with a scoop of creatine, then yes, they won't work as well as one individually would. But the effect that has, I'm not sure how big that is. It might be negligible, it might be a couple of percent. But what do you think about vegetable protein like tofu or lentils? Well, tofu is a full protein. It's a complete protein because it's made from soybeans. So a complete protein means that it has all 9 essential amino acids, and you need to consume essential amino acids because your body cannot produce them by itself. Lentils, however, miss 2 essential amino acids, so they have 7 out of the 9, which doesn't really matter because the moment that you actually combine lentils with, for example, brown rice, you're already having a complete protein. You rarely eat just one food product during a meal. It's usually 2, 3, or even more. So the only real difference between, for example, soybeans and soy protein and whey protein is that whey protein has more leucine in it, and this is a essential amino acid that your body needs in the muscle synthesis sequence. And there's a lot of steps in the muscle synthesis, but leucine plays a key role in here, combined with other amino acids. Now, soybeans and soy protein has less leucine, so you might need to take more protein in to get the proper amount of leucine, but it's very easy to fix with a leucine supplement. Just take 1 or 2 of these capsules with it and you're good. So if you're having doubts, for example, when you're having a meal with only lentils, beans, rice, and some vegetables, tofu, and you're still having doubts about getting all your protein in, just taking this with it will make everything exceptional. But don't get me wrong, vegan diets, it's possible to get complete proteins in there. You just gotta make sure to get enough leucine. Next question by Mac5Cry. Hey Wesley, I'd like to ask if it's better for me to train arms separately on arm day or to add them to other muscle workouts like chest and triceps. In my opinion, you can do both, but if arms are your weak point, you gotta do a separate arm day. And I like to do arm supersets. So first, for example, a bicep curl, and then do a tricep extension. There's a problem, however, when your arms are a weak point and you're only doing arms after a main muscle group such as chest and back. For example, you train back and then you do 2 or 3 bicep exercises, is that you already put all your effort into the back exercises at the start of the workout. And then you gotta do the biceps, which you don't have the energy for, you don't have the strength for, or the stamina in your muscle fibers for to complete the reps as you could if you were still fresh. You are fresh if you do a separate arm day, so I recommend you do that if your arms are a weak point. Next question by Yaidala Gurin. Hello, why don't you turn to classic physique? I see you doing very well on the Olympia stage. Well, thank you for saying that. The Olympia stage, a lot of people think that's where Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Phil Heath compete at. That is true, but at the same stage, there's also a classic physique division, which is another class in which there are weight limits. So I think I could weigh about 109 kilograms, 110 kilograms at my length, which is very close to what Arnold Schwarzenegger weighed at his prime. So that is, a nice weight to have on stage for me and to still look massive and classic. So yes, I'm going to definitely try to get there. Classic physique is really one of my ambitions. And this year I'm going to work on every weak point that I have so that in 2018 I can choose the correct competition for me. By Firat Sapul. Hey Wesley, do you think deadlift is a must for building muscles? Deadlift does have its place in bodybuilding, but I personally don't think it's needed. I have not done them ever, at least not seriously ever in my 9 years as a bodybuilder, and I do not really lack any very obvious muscles that a deadlift would target. My back is pretty solid, my lower back is pretty solid, my traps are getting better now by doing heavy shrugs, but the deadlift is a very good core exercise for also the legs, the core as I mentioned, the back, the traps, and even the forearms, of course, holding the weight. So it's a good and healthy exercise to do. I personally can't do it due to my lower back being an issue. I don't feel it right now, but I don't want to risk it again. So yeah, next question. By Killer 199234. Hey Wesley, I've got some questions. What do you eat in a rest day? Well, I eat the same as I do on a training day. The only difference is that I don't have the post-workout shake, obviously, consisting of 35 grams of whey and usually 30 grams of carbohydrates or a banana. So I don't have that on a rest day. A lot of people make the mistake that on a rest day they eat a lot less, but on a rest day you actually want to progress, you want to rest, you want to fill your body with the nutrients to be able to recover for the next workout. That's what you want, so you gotta keep eating. Now the foods that I eat, for example in the morning, oatmeal, and then either I have 3 to 4 potato or rice meals with 200 grams of fish and 200 grams of vegetables, and then post-workout sometimes I have another oatmeal, and before bed I have a fatty meal, for example salmon or mackerel with some cashew nuts, stuff like that, just to get the absorption to go slower throughout the night. But yeah, my days are pretty much the same on training and non-training days. Next question. By Sherbal Abuaksa. Can you tell us what do you think of lower volume and higher frequency training, like push, pull, legs, split? The workouts are still intense but less volume than usual. Well, the fact is that a lot of workouts work for a lot of different people. You gotta find what works for you, but you do have a point. When you're not able, when you notice that you're not able to recover from a lot of volume during a workout, if you notice a plateau, and then lower the volume. So first is the volume is this is a week. The volume is this, but chop the volume down to this so that you can do it more frequently. And that's what can get you past a plateau, because you keep triggering those muscles to grow instead of just one big workout to make them grow. You actually recover in between more often, and you don't do as much as volume, so you can recover faster, so you can do better the next workout again. So it's actually a style of training that works very well for a lot of people, especially when you notice that you don't recover very fast, when you get a lot of muscle ache from doing a lot of volume. So more frequency could indeed be beneficial. Next question. By Leggio Workouts. Do you think a modern bodybuilder could do vacuum if they practice enough? Well, they actually can, and out of the top of my head, I think Ben Pakulski did it, and there were some pictures of him having a bloated stomach before, yet at the competition he can do some sort of vacuum, but they cannot pull it in deep enough, because as I mentioned in a previous video, the transverse abdominis, which is the abdominal wall keeping your organs compressed and keeping your stomach flat, is weakened for these professional bodybuilders, so it kind of bulges outwards, and when it's weakened it also doesn't have the strength to go back into place even when contracting it yourself. But it is definitely possible to strengthen it. Next question. By Martijn Naaktgeboren. Hey Wesley, I have a question about smoking cigarettes. I'm thinking of quitting them because they are obviously not great for your health, but my question is, how much does it set you back in growing muscle if you smoke 2 to 3 cigarettes every day like I do? Well, you're right, cigarettes are not good for you. The main problem with cigarettes is that it cripples the function of your lungs. And guess what your muscles need? Oxygen. When you work out, they burn up oxygen to actually contract. With that oxygen, you don't have the energy to do anything. Oxygen is needed for every conversion of energy in your body. And when you don't get enough of it, your body will be less efficient in this. You won't be able to do the weight you normally can, you won't be able to do the reps you normally can, and you won't be able to build as much muscle as you could have. So it will definitely have even with 1 cigarette a day, have a big impact on your bodybuilding career, on building a physique. I don't know exactly how much of an impact, it's individual, different for everyone, but stopping with the cigarettes is truly my advice. Next question. By 00000. Is it possible to fix the TVA strength if it's weakened? Well, I actually just answered that previously. Yes, it is very possible if you practice consistently by doing vacuum poses and by keeping in the vacuum and then doing crunches or leg raises. That'll actually strengthen the transverse abdominis as well. You want to keep the stomach flat, and if it's weakened, you're going to have a distended stomach a little bit, but it's absolutely possible to strengthen it if you do it consistently and do it the correct way. Next question, last question. By Spencer Carleal. Hey, a question for your next video. Is there any way to get the shoulder, bicep, tricep line quickly? And yes, you gotta lose the weight and you gotta build the muscle. But most importantly, when you don't have any fat in this area, and you can see it in this picture right here, this on this side, this is me off season, actually right now, and this is me during the Arnold Classic. Probably a 15 kilo weight difference in between these pictures of fat and water weight. And you can definitely see that even though I have the same amount of muscle mass here, right here, the fat body percentage is a lot lower. So you can actually see the definition in those arms. So I hope that answers your question. But obviously, training the brachialis of the biceps right here, in between the triceps and the biceps, will emphasize this difference. But I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys. Please, if you want, ask more questions down below and I will answer them in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.